cute kid. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't type. Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, guys. Guys. So you got scammed buying a bottle from somebody on Facebook. What should you do about it? That's a question I get a lot as an administrator of one of the more popular selling and swapping Facebook groups out there called Fragrance Swap. The first thing you should do is calm down. Take a deep breath and don't panic, because you have options and you may not have actually gotten scammed. More often than not, the people who we run into as administrators that post that they got a fake bottle didn't actually get a fake bottle. Or if they didn't receive their bottle, or if somebody tried to steal their money, there's sometimes a legitimate explanation for that. So the purpose of this video is a few tips for what happens when you encounter a problem with a transaction online. Now, one of the great things about the fragrance community is that it affords people the opportunity to buy and sell bottles that they don't want anymore at really good prices. I myself have bought a lot of bottles online that I wouldn't be able to get at retail for that price because they don't sell used bottles. The downside of it is it's a little less reliable. You're buying from a person as opposed to a retailer. They have to ship you the bottle. You're relying on them to come through. So, the first bit of advice I would give you is do not use the PayPal friends and family option with somebody you don't know or somebody who does not have a very established reputation. There are a few sellers out there, many of you probably know their names by now, who have very good reputations and have been selling in the community for years. And I would not hesitate to recommend that you can send them friends and family. The advantage to that, of course, is there's no fee through PayPal to send a friends and family payment. Whereas if you send it as a goods and services purchase, there's a 4% fee that is charged to the seller. Sometimes that seller does ask the buyer to cover it. But if you send it as goods and services, there are protections afforded to you for that. Meaning, if you get scammed, if they do not sell you, if they don't send you your goods, if they send you something that is fake, if they send you not what they should have, you do have recourse to get your money back. So, first step, send as goods and services unless you are totally confident in that person. Now, if you did pay through goods and services, you're in luck because there's a good chance that you'll be able to get your money back. If the seller has not sent the item, it's a pretty easy process. You call up PayPal, tell them that you made a purchase and the seller has not shipped the item. That seller will then be forced to prove that they did. They'll be forced to provide tracking information to PayPal, and if they can't, well, you get your money back. If they did send the item and they sent something that was fake, or they sent something that misrepresented what actually, or if they misrepresented what they actually were selling to you, it does get a little bit hazier. In these instances, I would strongly recommend take pictures of what you have. So let's say you bought this bottle. Let's say you bought Muscravageur off somebody, and what you got was this. But in the picture they sent you, this bottle was full. Clearly this one's not. Take pictures of it, and do so right when you open the bottle. The same goes for if the bottle is fake. So let's say this Muscravageur bottle was fake, and you can tell. What you should do is, again, take pictures of it so that you can send it to PayPal and show the differences between what is real and what is fake. The more actual pictorial evidence or video evidence you have, the much more likely they are to side with you. A lot of times when somebody has a bad transaction with someone, be it a swap or a sale, they like to go and out them publicly. Go yell about it, that this person hasn't shipped to me yet, or this person shipped me a bottle and I'm not sure if it's real. As the buyer, you do have a responsibility to make sure that you're not yelling fire in a crowded room. Because the minute you say that so-and-so sent me a bottle and I'm not sure if it's real, that person has that association branded to them, and it's really, really tough for them to shed that reputation. Just by you saying it, it is a huge hit to their reputation, and you should not do so publicly unless you are sure that there is a problem. The better option, PM an administrator of the group that you made the sale in. So if you made the sale in Fragrance Swap, one of the groups I moderate, send myself or one of the other two admins a message in private first and try and resolve it. This, of course, after, presumably, you've tried to contact the original seller or swapper. Always go to that person first. If that doesn't work, go to an administrator in private. They can offer assistance as well. They have a little bit more ability to out the person publicly. We have a little bit more experience handling these types of situations. We can provide a level of assistance. If you are going to go public about it, do some research first. Look into that person's history. See if they've had any type of past interactions or bad sales or swaps with other people first. Don't just gung-ho onto Facebook and, oh my God, guys, this person scammed me. I can't tell you the number of times that we've encountered situations where somebody did that and come to find out that it was a very, very honest misunderstanding. Or that, frankly, the buyer was overreacting because they purchased something and it's been not even 24 hours and they're complaining that they haven't received tracking yet. That's unreasonable. Always try and resolve the situation with the buyer first and be reasonable about it. If it's been a week since you made the purchase and they haven't given you tracking, yeah, go after them. That's way too long. If it's been 4 hours, no, that's not reasonable. So use common sense with this. I know that there's been a lot of issues in the community over the years with a few bad apples who have come through and stolen a lot from people. It has happened. There have been some instances where certain, I won't name any names, certain people have stolen thousands of dollars worth of goods and or money from people and never sent the products, never sent the bottles that they sold. And it's pretty bad. And it's ruined that level of honesty and that level of trust among buyers and sellers to a certain extent. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't, as the buyer, exercise some common sense when you encounter a potentially negative situation. Always go to the seller first, go to administrator second, do research on the person third. If you have any questions on the validity of the bottle itself, say you receive it and you say, not sure if it's real, guys. This number that I got on there looks like it's a little bit smudged off. it's probably not fake. It's probably just used and somebody's finger smudged it off. That's not the same thing as, gee, there's a typo on the label, or the label is askew like that. Well, that's a significant problem. Or if the juice smells bad, if it smells like alcohol, if the color is wrong, that's a big sign that there's a potential issue. Or if the font on the label is wrong. Going back to the video I made a long time ago on how to spot a Tom Ford fake. Those are the kinds of things that are indicative of a potential counterfeit item. Things like minute little issues like, oh my god, the color of the internal sprayer mechanism little thingamajigger right there seems a little bit more off-white than the regular one. Come on. And I'm not even making that up. We have seen things like that before. Or somebody who claims that the label is scratched. Maybe it's fake. No, it means the label's scratched. Now, this is not to say that the seller is off the hook in these cases. As somebody who sells quite a bit, it really, really pisses me off when somebody screws a buyer, because it makes it harder for everyone. And it makes it harder for people like me who've been selling for God knows how long and taken a lot of time and effort to build a good reputation, not just for myself, but for everybody in the community, that, yeah, we can do this. Yeah, we can foster a sale community and a swap and split community based on trust and honest communication. So if you're a seller out there, don't do it. Just don't fucking do it. Pardon my language, but you're screwing everybody else. And it's honestly, what, for a couple $100? Go find something else to do with your life. Don't try and turn this into a business. Selling fragrance is not a business model. Splitting, buying and selling scents back and forth is not a way to make a living. You can't do it. There's not enough of a market out there. There's not enough people out there that you can use it as your sole income and live comfortably. For some, it can be a secondary line of income if you want to go into that decanting game, but on the grand scale, you're not going to make enough money to live on it. So don't come in here and try and screw people over, or try and sell a whole bunch of things that you don't actually have as a way to get yourself started in some type of backwards pyramid scheme garbage that I've seen in the past. It's not going to work. So be good to your buyers and they'll keep coming back to you. That's how I've gotten to where I have been, is by treating everybody as best as I can and getting them their stuff on time and giving them their tracking information and making good when I make an honest mistake. So just because I'm going off and saying about how buyers are overreacting doesn't mean you sellers out there have carte blanche to do whatever you want. You don't. And one of the main reasons I wanted to make this video was to try and prevent the amount of times somebody goes running onto Facebook and outs somebody for no reason when that person doesn't deserve to be outed. Because once that is there, you can't unring that bell. If I go and post right now that so-and-so scammed me, even if I'm making that up out of thin air, and it never happened, if I've never bought from that person before, somebody will see it and somebody will believe it. And that'll be fake news. It'll be news that somebody thinks is real. So be careful doing that. I hope this video was helpful. Of course, the same applies if you're buying on YouTube as well. Similar type of circumstance. Maybe not with the group administrators, but in terms of the recourse you have with PayPal in terms of communication, outing the person publicly. If you have any questions, if you yourself are in a situation where somebody has potentially scammed you, feel free to reach out to me. I'll provide any help that I can, or any anecdotal support. Otherwise, be good to each other, buyers and sellers and swappers and splitters. Don't screw other people over. It just hurts everybody in the end. All right? We'll see you soon.